Hi guys. I thought I'd come live. I've been live already in my group Creations from the Heartspace. I've done the weekly oracle reading, the guidance, and healing meditation. So if you'd like to join that group, you can actually do so by clicking here. If you're not already a member, that is. And there you go. Totally free, lots of wonderful benefits, information, and spiritual growth and inspiration. So, you're always welcome. We've got 1,200 something like that members by now, I think. 1,214 exact. And cool. Hi, Sue. I'll answer that last bit for you later when I'm done here. So what I wanted to tell you about, because I've been having a couple of questions, is like, where did you get the idea about Creations from the Heartspace? And yeah, I jumped over on the page. So that's the name of my group, Creations from the Heartspace. So the first thing you need to know is, what is your heart space? Does everybody have a heart space? And lucky for you, yes, you have. Isn't that wonderful? Every one of you has a heart, so you also have a heart space. And that's not the physical thing, but the spiritual thing. Your heart also has like this huge magnetic field, larger than the brain even. So there's, when you talk about the heart wisdom, it's not just a metaphor, it's real. Your mind is actually your heart and brain connected and working together. Okay, they're not separate. Your awareness, your consciousness is actually a teamwork from both, you would say. That they're really interwoven. Hi, Jemena. Good to see you. And but let's talk about the heart space. So when you go into meditation, you can drop into your heart space. It's a visualization, which is absolutely beautiful, and I love working with that. I actually do that every single time I do a full moon goddess meditation with in the full moon goddess circle that I run every full moon. Haha, surprise. So, and that's for ladies only, and we celebrate our inner goddess and connect with the goddess energy. That is a certain goddess that I choose according to the astrological unique positions of that particular full moon, and then I'll pick out a goddess that works with that kind of energy that goes very much in line, and then we explore that. The mythology, what it means, and then we also do a meditation and meet our goddess then. So, but that is comes after, really. So let me tell you about your heart space. Your heart space is a beautiful place inside of you that is just your own. It's completely unique to you. Hi, Safa. There is something that is totally safe. Nobody is there that can hurt you, can come in. Nothing, okay? So that's completely positive. You're absolutely safe. You're loved there. And when you ask, what does that look like? I can't tell you. I can tell you what my heart space looks like, although that sometimes varies as well. But I'm kind of a favorite as well. But it's your visualization, it's your heart space, and the way you feel, what you see, what is unique to you, what you love most, where you feel the most comfortable. That is what comes up for you. You will see that, and you will know that, what that looks like. It could be a room in a beautiful castle. It can be out in nature by a beautiful lake. It can be in a forest, a clearing in a forest, or maybe it's just sitting at the roots of this huge, great, big, beautiful old tree, which is full of wisdom or something. Or you might be by a river, a stream, or by the beach and the ocean, You might be standing there and seeing the dolphins and going swimming with the dolphins or something. Whatever is resonant with you, whatever comes up, that is totally okay for you. That's the scenery can change as well. That is okay too. The first thing I always tell everybody is like, do not question what you get in input. It's not just visions or hearing sounds or speech or something. It can be emotions, it can be knowing, inner knowing, or like a smell, or you feel like you're touching a certain texture or a taste that you suddenly have in your mouth. Okay, all this is how we actually connect with our inner divine, our inner wisdom, and that's how we how we get messages, and how that manifests for us is always different as well. It's not always the same for one person. I have sometimes I just have a knowing. I'm a very visual person in that way, so I have a lot of visions and things. I kind of see that as actually being in a different reality, and then like I would interact sitting together with you and talking or something in real life. That's pretty much like how I usually experience that, but sometimes it's just an inner knowing, or I get a feeling, a physical sensation or an emotion that tells me something, or I have suddenly like a smell in my nose, and I have a certain association with that. So don't question if you're doing it right, because it's right for you. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen to you that way. Okay. You're being shown things the way that you can best relate to it, that's best for you in that situation. Your higher self is all knowing and all wise. So, accept it, be open, and be totally okay with that as well, about your own special uniqueness, because each and every one of you, you're all unique and beautiful beings, and you all have an intuition. You all have a capacity to connect with your inner divine, and to channel that wisdom as well for yourself. And that is something so beautiful and something so precious and sacred. Nobody can take that away from you. Okay, so your heart space is that place where your inner wisdom resides. You can go there just to relax, go into meditation, visualize that you're going down there. I usually feel myself like either walking down somewhere stairs or a hill, or something like that, or floating down from somewhere above and then kind of gently landing on the grass, standing there, and whatever, things like that. How you get there, that's up to you as well, whatever you feel most comfortable with. But then when you're totally relaxed and your brain is in that meditative state, and you have that visualization that you're following, you can meet your animal guides. It doesn't have to be like your usual spirit animal. It can be a new one that is just there to teach you one particular lesson, or is just there for a short while, to give you a certain influence that you need at the moment, so don't think, oh yeah, my power animal is the wolf, and suddenly there's a little squirrel coming along and talking to you, and you're like, what do you want? Got nothing to do with you. Obviously you do, because it's appearing. So we have lots of different lessons to learn, and things to become aware of, to work with, inspiration to get. Learning sounds so much like we don't know enough, but we do have that inner knowing and everything. It's like accessing that, right? So you need to access certain qualities, certain energies at different times. So different guides or different kinds of inspiration will present themselves to you, different opportunities, different experiences, whatever is good for you at the moment or whatever you attract in that moment with your energy. So what happens is when you're in that heart space, that is your absolutely beautiful place, and you can walk through it. You can run, you can jump. Hi, Susan. I'm back again. Couldn't stop myself. So once you're in your heart space, you can access everything there. You can have just a relaxation, recharge your batteries, and just soak up the divine energy, you know, that life force, and that love, the unconditional love that you have. You know, that is there and always, and reminding yourself of that you are always loved, because that is something that is so easy to forget in our busy lives as well, where we always have to perform, always find ways to stand out from the crowd or make ourselves present ourselves in a certain way or whatever. I think this is me. And the thing is that you are totally loved. You don't have to do anything or be anything to be loved. Okay, because you are made of love. You can't not be loved, and you can't not be loved. Okay, so whatever you do, it is very important to drop into that space, recharge yourself, especially when you're very stressed and you feel like things are going off kilter, and you know, you might be at work with a busy environment, and your boss is kind of in a bad mood and shouting at people, and you know, maybe he's being horrible to you, saying something stupid, or his tone of voice is very impatient or something. You know, get up, go to the toilet, put yourself in a cubicle, sit down and just go breathe. You know, this mindful breathing where you actually visualize yourself breathing in energy and breathing out stress and tension, and that is so powerful. So the first thing, breath is saying yes to life. Okay, that's the first thing. So the first thing you do is saying yes to life. I am breathing, therefore I am existing in physical form, to put that a bit further from Shakespeare here. Develop that a little bit more. So you're doing that, and then do your visualizations or repeat an affirmation in your head or something. You can be quiet, you know, if there's somebody, obviously in a public toilet, there are usually more people around, but so you might not want people to hear that, but you know, although you can do that as well. You know, but just take a few minutes out, however long it takes for you to do a little pee-pee. Spend your time on the toilet, shut away in a cubicle, and nobody's going to bother you there, and you're just doing your breathing exercise or something, you know. And if you don't have anybody right in front of your nose, I don't know how your workplace looks like, you can do that at your desk as well, you know. So, you know, totally up to you what you feel comfortable with, what is possible, you know, where you know you're not going to be disturbed for the next couple of minutes. It can be really quick, a few seconds. Sometimes it really helps, you know, to center yourself, to ground yourself. When you have a little bit more time, drop in your heart space, and that is something you should really do. That's something when you really have time, do it regularly, not in the middle of something at work or something, but you know, really have that as a non-negotiable. Meditation as such is the most powerful thing you can ever do. That helps you manifest, that helps you focus on your intentions and everything else, and helps you get your mind clear. It'll protect you from dementia, and you know, there's so many else benefits, you know, it strengthens your immune system, all the rest of it. So You know, it's been researched, and when you have a mass meditation in a city, there is a lot less violent crime during that time as well. Police records, so that is a given fact. Meditations are absolutely powerful. So that is something you have to do every day if you want to increase your quality of life. And if you say, oh, I don't have time for that, you need it even more. That's the thing about it. But you know, even if you do like 20 minutes every day, start with little time and then go on. You know, if you have problems focusing more, if you have problems, well, I can feel it. I'm not sure if everybody can, but I can actually physically feel it when my brain wave pattern changes and I'm going into that meditative state. It feels different in my head as well, so I can tell you exactly when that point is where I switch over. And when I meditate, and I'm not sure about you guys, but maybe pay attention to that. You know, that's something you can develop as well, to become aware of it in some way, you know. It might show itself for you in a different way, but you know, there will be some kind of signs that where you'll be able to tell, okay, that is now, you know, different. I have a different kind of awareness here, and I have a different kind of being, you know, because in that moment, you are so in that moment as well when you're meditating. You're like totally right there. So you will know one way or the other. You will know that you are actually there. Meditate before I write. It makes me more productive. Exactly. Yeah, it focuses your mind. It sharpens it and everything. That is, yeah, absolutely. Do that as well. And sometimes in the middle of it, you know, I can tell when I'm starting to lose the conscious of my surroundings. Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's like, because you know, you're going within, and you know, what is outside around you is not really the thing that you're focusing on then. So so you're meditating regularly, when you go into your heart space, it's a beautiful way of connecting with your divine energies, with your guides, with your inner wisdom, with love, being loved, this unconditional divine love, that you feel like you're being loved no matter what. Not everybody has that in their life from other people, that you're being unconditionally loved, like a mother would usually love the baby in a healthy mother-child relationship, isn't it? But you know, we might not all have that as adults with other people in our lives. So we feel like we have to fulfill certain expectations and play certain roles in order to not be rejected in some way, or in part at least. But once you go into your heart space, you can experience that you are loved just the way you are. You don't have to hide any part from yourself. You don't have to pretend you're something else, because that won't work anyway. You know, your heart space knows you, it's inside of you. So, you know, whatever you present outside is somewhere else completely to start with, you know, so it has no bearing on your heart space. So, you know, there is authenticity, and it will also help you to become an authentic person who stands in their own power, and, you know, not be so insecure about yourself, but be more confident, because you accept and love yourself more, and you value yourself more, the person that you are, the uniqueness that you have, your talents, your gifts, all that. So that is an absolutely beautiful thing, okay? And I love going into my heart space sometimes. One of my very dominant spirit animals, power animals that stay with me, like long term, is wolf. And what I love to do is I have this meadow, and there's kind of on you know, very far away, there's like wood all around, but this is like a big open meadow, and there's like a sandy path trail going through it. And sometimes I just go there and I just have so much fun just running, because you know I've got a dodgy leg, and you know I can't really run and jump anymore in my physical reality in my body, because I've got chronic injury there. But of course I miss that and dancing and that, you know. But then I go there and I just, you know, Wolf comes to me and we have a little cuddle, and then we just run, and I leap like I don't know, several meters up in the air, and you know, and I do somersaults and things like that, because in my heart space I can do that, isn't it? And it's so much fun. So you don't always have to go there just because you want to be like so totally serious and really work on that shadow part of yourself or whatever, you know. But you can just be there for fun, because you know life is fun, it's joy. Don't forget the joy in all this, you know. And it doesn't have to be serious joy, it can be totally silly as well. Okay, I mean, you can jump after your squirrel through the trees, the branches, whatever. um, you know, if that floats your boat and you're having fun and you're having a giggle doing that, do it. You're not hurting anyone with that. You're not crazy. You're having fun. You're enjoying your life, and that's it. That's your life purpose: to love your life and to enjoy it, to have joy in your life, and know that you're loved and that you can do anything. So, you know, just have fun there. Don't forget the fun factor. And the more often you visit there, the quicker you actually get to it, and the easier it'll be for you to not just access it, but also remain in it. Once you're there, when you start, you might, you know, you might drift off all the time, like, oh, I still have to do the dishes or whatever, you know, things like that. So, but when you're so used to it, you can be there in a heartbeat, and you know, just do your thing, even a couple of minutes, and you feel rejuvenated from it. You know, it gives you something, gives you a higher vibe, more fun in your life, a smile on your face. So that was actually something really precious that you can do for yourself. Yeah, it is very beautiful, you know, and anyone can do that. So it's not like a big secret, complicated thing that only the chosen few can perform or something. Is accessible for all, because you all have that. You all have your heart, you have your heart space, you can drop in there anytime you like, and have all these experiences any that you like. Okay, and it's totally safe and it's all yours. And you know, if you don't feel comfortable talking about it with other people, if you're feeling insecure about it, if you think somebody might laugh at you or they might think you're totally crazy, don't tell them. You know, I'm not telling everything to everyone, but I've now grown into my own confidence, my own power so much that I'm not hiding anything anymore. You know, I go here, and of course, people who are not interested in that, I don't talk maybe on the street with when I meet them in town here. I won't say, oh, I've done a live on Heartspace or something, you know, last night, but you know, we might be connected on Facebook, or they might come across it anyway. So I'm not hiding that from anyone. And if somebody talks to me about it, I'm open, you know, to discuss that further as well, of course, you know. If somebody doesn't like it, they can say, well, it's not my thing, fine with me. So that took a while for me also to get to have that kind of security within myself, and that knowing that just because not everybody likes and resonates with what I'm doing and what I'm believing, how I live my life, how I raise my kids, all the rest of it, you know, or who I am really. That doesn't mean I'm less lovable. It doesn't mean I'm less worthy. It doesn't mean I'm less valuable. And it doesn't mean I'm less anything. I'm just different. And it's beautiful to have differences in life, because If everybody was like me, we'd be sitting in a cave still, having wonderful stories to tell each other, but probably not even a fire because I wouldn't be able to kind of, I'm pretty useless with those things. So, I mean, I can screw some IKEA furniture together, but that's about it. We're building houses with, central heating here and double glazing windows and all that. That ain't gonna happen when everybody is like me. I wouldn't even think of, paper, toilet paper. How do you make toilet paper? I have no idea. Yet I use it every day and I'm happy that I've got it. So, those little things that give you so much comfort in life, which make it so special and so wonderful, and if you think back, like our ancestors, they didn't have all that, and I'm just thinking, I'm so happy we live in the times that we do now, because of course not everything is perfect, but there's a lot of amenities that we have that generations before us didn't. When I was a baby, there wasn't even disposable diapers the first year. I think it only came like the second year or something, or like, you had to kind of put the diaper around like this fabric thing, and then they had what you put on top, like panties made from plastic, and then only later, I think my sister was 2 years younger than me, she then had those disposable diapers that you can, just the normal kind of Pampers that we know nowadays. But yeah, so, and I've had 3 children, and I'm really happy for disposable diapers as well, So there's so much wonderful stuff. Love that. Never thought about just going in there for fun before. Exactly. Yeah, I didn't. It just happened to me, I didn't think about the fun part until it happened that one day. Thank you for sharing. You're so welcome. I can hardly light a candle. Well, I'm getting the hang of it again. You see there, and I'm just careful, don't get dizzy or anything. But I've got some here as well. My wonderful little table, and beside my armchair there. Which is so nice to sit in as well. But anyway, so that is chop down a tree is as much as I know about making toilet paper. Yeah, but we can make it from hemp as well, couldn't we? Or bamboo or something. We'll probably have to ask Emily about that. She's the environmentalist here, the expert. But yeah, that kind of thing, I mean, all sorts of things that you can do in your heart space, the sort of things you can appreciate in your life. That gives you time. I mean, you don't have to cook your washing anymore. People used to cook their washing, over the fire or on go like this with their washing in the boiling water and that. So you can imagine how often they did that. I think people were probably a lot stinkier than they are nowadays because who wants to stand there all day long and just, with the hot water pots and that. Hi, Tanya. Right, I didn't have disposable. Yeah, see, I think we're about the same age, isn't that, Susan? So that's really it. You have time now with all those amenities, and you can make time. So, that's something. Having had a burnout, in the beginning of the year, which obviously still affects me now, but this was such a great learning process about not allowing myself to be stressed anymore and to be really conscious about how I household with my energy and what is really important to me, because I had to prioritize. I couldn't do as much as I did before, 16 hours at the computer and also, doing volunteer community work and writing books and whatever. That's just not going to happen anymore now. But it helped me so much to really take those moments, do my breathing, drop in my heart space, re-energize myself that way, take time out, you know, be conscious of how much time I spent working, be conscious and aware of what and who affects me in a negative way, what stresses me. So all these triggers, I've removed bit by bit from my life as much as possible. And you know, so the worst thing that happens now is that my daughter says, I don't like quinoa, you know, can't we have pasta again? For the first time and 10th time in a row. That's like the greatest annoyance. Or that the cat comes, you know, and I'm sleeping in bed and the cat is, I don't know, wants to go outside or decides like 2 o'clock in the morning is the time I want to eat something. It's like, ow! Right beside my ear, you know. Other than that, so I think that is really a library problem, isn't it? But you see, so spirituality, people go at it with so much like awareness about things and being conscientious about it and really wanting to explore things, which is beautiful and it's necessary to be serious about it as well, you know, to get somewhere. But at the same time, it has to be fun as well. And you have to incorporate that fun, you know. Being spiritual doesn't mean you always have to have such a thing as, the world is so bad, oh, you know. It's not, the world is beautiful. And yes, it's not perfect. And there's a lot of things that we need to change. But we can't change anything by having negative energies about it. We have to change by being positive about it, okay? Like, we can do it. We can have fun. You know, let's do something positive about it. Have optimism. Say, okay, I can't set the whole world all by myself, but let me be one part of it. Let me do my little part. And, you know, and be sure that I raise my vibrations because that affects the whole. Okay, we don't live in a bubble. We're not each to our own all the time. This is a matrix like a spider web, a three-dimensional one. So we are all interconnected with each other. We need each other. We are having an influence on each other, even if we don't know it, but we do. You know, it's about the butterfly's wings, and somewhere in China a sack rice falls over or something, you know. You know, that kind of story. So it's like we have no idea how we are connected with each other, how all this energy works in the big web in particular. We don't need to know that. All we need to know is the happier we are, the higher my vibrations are, the higher the world vibrations are. So the more of us who are happier, the better it is for the world. So being egotistical in quotation marks or selfish is actually a good thing because you're helping others. Put yourself first and you are happy. So only from the place of that strength, of the happiness, of that high vibe that you can affect others positively, you know. If you're down in the gutter, where are you going to go? You know, you're all sitting together down in the gutter, but you can't, you know, you can't help somebody to come out of there by climbing down there with them. But, you know, showing, first of all, saying, hey, hello, here's something else up here, you know, and then if somebody wants to have the assistance, offer your hand in love and help them up. To you, to your level, don't go down to theirs, okay? And you can't, that's another thing that you really, really have to be mindful of, because otherwise it'll drain your energy like crazy, it'll disappoint you, it makes you, gonna make you frustrated, angry, sad, whatever. You cannot help anybody against their will. You can't even explain something to somebody who's not willing to be open to listen. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy. It's not going to happen. So missionizing anybody or You know, even when you're having an argument or when you're saying, look, you know, you've done something that really hurt me or whatever, you know, like maybe in a relationship, family, whatever. If somebody is not open to listen to you and not having to agree with you, but being open to see your point of view and allowing themselves, you know, to step out of themselves and look at how you see things, you know, if somebody's not open to that, it's a total waste of time. And if somebody persists doing that, affect you in a negative way, whichever way that is, you know, draw yourself out of that relationship because it's not going to happen. And no matter what you do, it's not going to make a difference. So make sure you are happy. So you have something to give, you know. If you don't have any energy, you can't give energy to anything else or anybody else. And then nobody's really happy. But you being happy, having fun, healing yourself, and changing your life step by step. Don't do everything at once because that's just monumental. It's too much, you know. But one step at a time, one little bit at a time, one relationship at a time, one putting your foot down and setting boundaries at a time. Do that, and I promise you, your life is going to be so much better. You're going to have so much less stress in your life as well, and you suddenly will feel you have time to sit there, enjoy nature, or walk through nature. You have time to meditate. Okay, that time is there, but you're depriving yourself of it most of the time, and that is something I've really learned this year. The time is there, but we have to grab that opportunity when it presents itself, and we have to make space for that. You know, not just physical room, like decluttering stuff, so we have more room for new things. You know, we have to make space within ourselves as well for that. And that is, once you know how that works, it's a beautiful thing. You know, you can do that with time. Just the same thing. You can do that with negative thought patterns, belief systems, time as well. Make time, prioritize. You know. So let's see what you said. Do you find your writing to be healing? I wrote and published a part of my recovery story and it was helpful to me. Yes. I've always been writing all my life. I've only started publishing very recently, but in 2015, but you know, I'm born 71, and even before I could write, I was telling stories to my sister at night in bed, and so I've always been a storyteller. And I find writing, even for myself, I do a lot of writing just for myself, fictional writing rather than journaling, very cathartic for me as well. And it helps a lot, and it helps me in a way that I can work through my emotions, my experiences, my impressions that I've had during the day or during the week, whatever. And you know, and that helps me to kind of put that to rest, you know, kind of, it's like a digestive system, I would say, for me, very much. And also, you know, point of great joy. I mean, when I write a funny scene, I'll be just giggling to myself, and, you know, and Tarani will go there, are you writing something funny again? I'm like, yeah. So that is great joy. That's fun as well. My miracle is born by swimming in. Oh, wonderful! In medium. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I look at that tomorrow. It's a bit late here already, but I will definitely have a look at that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Susan. That is beautiful. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Love that, yeah. I said for years, isn't it? Like since last summer, I said I can't wait to read some of your writing. So I will definitely have a look at that tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll leave you with that, with those impressions and ideas. And that is also, oh, one more thing, coming back to how I named my group Creations from the Heart Space, means that you create from there. Like, let's stay with writing because that's my point of expertise. I'm not a painter or anything, but any artist or anybody creating anything will consciously, will know what I'm talking about. It's like when you can have the most incredible style, the fanciest words, and the most perfect grammar, and all the rest of it. But you read a text and you think, oh my God, all this technical stuff is like, there is like 100% wow, but it feels dead. You can't connect to it because that means there's no energy in it. Okay, you're not transporting energy in a way that it evokes emotions in the other person. So then all your wonderful technical skills will not serve you because you're not, you don't have the energy in that building that connection, and that energy comes from your heart space. So whether you create a painting, a poem, or something in your life that you desire, you have to put that feeling in there and that energy or that emotion that you want to convey. And once you do that, you infuse your creations with that kind of energy. That is then when you're creating from your heart space. And that is where how you connect to people, a space and time. And not just because you're talking to them in that moment or anything, but you write something, you put it out there, and look at Shakespeare. 400 years later, people love it, And it's not because we all want to be so, I don't know, snobbish or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I know Shakespeare or something. It's not about that. He was so witty, so funny, and everything, And even though, obviously, 1600 something society was a lot different in England than it is nowadays. But there's still human things that will never change, and human emotions that are always there. And he tapped into that, and he was able to express and convey that. So even over space and time, Shakespeare is touching hearts because he wrote from the heart space. Okay, and that's why he's still there, and that's why we still talk about him. That's why we still read his stuff, watch the plays, perform them. There's a Royal Shakespeare, not the company, but they have like a rap group or something. They perform Shakespeare as rap and hip hop and whatever, And I mean, that is brilliant. I love it, And that's like, that more than anything shows how timeless his work is, right? Because you are connecting heart to heart, okay? Not technical skills or grammar, which was different than it is now, and things, you're not connecting on a mental plane, but you're connecting from your heart. And the rest comes, that is inspiration then, and then, use your mind as well to think through it and enjoy the stylistic aspects and everything, but you won't be able to enjoy that if there isn't that energy connection, So that is the beauty of it, and that's what I'm trying to bring into my group, that kind of educating people about different ways to access that for themselves and to bring that, incorporate that into their lives. Because I've spent a very long time thinking spirituality is like this intellectual hobby or something, but I didn't know how to connect that to real life. It was totally removed from my life, and I didn't know how to have a practical application of it in my life. And so I want to make sure that other people will see, when I'm teaching, when I'm conveying something, when I'm sharing something, that others can take that as a holistic approach, okay, for all layers of your life, not just, having this fancy spiritual plane or something and no application in real life, but that is all one whole thing, you know, and affects your life on all levels. And that is the beautiful thing about it, and that's why I call my group Creations from the Heartspace. Yes, Susan, I will let you know. I'll read it tomorrow, okay? Yes, lifelong writer. Yes, when you write, you like that. It's your calling, isn't it? Or you paint. You've always been like painters, really good painters who really evoke emotions in people. They've painted from a small age onwards, you know, most of them. So yeah, usually look at a child. What do they do when they're small? You know, where their soul path really is, you know, what kind of direction they need to go in later in adulthood for jobs and things, you know, what kind of profession would be good for them to choose. So yeah. All right, guys. Oh my God, it's midnight here already, and I'm gonna get ready now for bed. Love you lots. You know, big heart. Don't forget to like my page if you haven't done so already. And I want 2,222 as soon as possible. And yeah, and the ladies, whoever isn't in my full moon goddess circle yet, it's the link should be is in the it's right on the top in the description, so you can go there, and you know, I've also got different other services, products, and books, of course. So just explore my website, have a look. There's a lot of information there, free divine library. You can just explore to your heart's content, you know, and I'm always here to answer questions or be happy to hear feedback from you anytime. So get in touch, don't be shy, okay? Lots of love and good night. You too, Sue. Mwah.